We are down to our final two teams. Game one of the World Series is tomorrow. And we are going to recap the championship series, give predictions on the World Series. I'm excited. I know you guys are as well. And here we go. So, World Series matchup, probably should be a very good one, as we got two of the number one seeds going at it, the Yankees and the Dodgers. It's going to be interesting, folks. It really is. You can't really. To me, it's hard to pick a favorite. And what I mean by that, I mean that both teams this playoffs have been so good. Uh, yes, they both also have their ups and downs. I mean, everyone does. I mean, it's baseball. You could say the same thing in other sports. Teams are going to have a weak link. It's just how it is, especially if one guy goes down, it really screws over the team. But this is the first time in over 43 years the Yankees and Dodgers are playing against each other. The last one was 83. And it's going to be historic. These are two historic franchises going against each other. I think we have 7 future Hall of Famers in this World Series, which is kind of crazy to think about. I don't even remember the last time we actually had that. And two of the best players in baseball are going against each other, Judge and Soto. Now, I think it'd be great. I mean, we've seen it in June when the Dodgers visited the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. But this World Series, I think it's just a little bit different because one guy is doing better than the other. And that's really what gets me, is that Judge is not playing well, hasn't been playing well this postseason. Otani has. I think his batting average is like 265 or uh, something like that. But Judge is batting 161 with only 2 home runs and 6 RBI. It's not really that impressive. I mean, I understand. Yes, you have two guys who are probably going to win the MVP in their respective leagues. But I wouldn't really say, oh, it's Judge versus Otani. Yeah, Judge does well in the regular season. It's terrible in the postseason, especially this year. I think Judge's got to do a lot more. He needs to be on point. Stop putting pressure on himself. I've heard that he went on and has said time in and time out that, if the Yankees lose, he feels like it's its own fault. I mean, I guess, but if the Yankees lose, it's not because of Aaron Judge. It's not. it's amongst other things that why the Yankees lost. Um, but yeah, I think Judge needs to get going. Uh, he needs to do stuff in those World Series to help the Yankees out. You got to. He has to get on a roll. Absolutely has to get on a roll. The pitching for the Yankees, I think you got four solid starters. Cole, Rendon, Schmidt, and Heel. Uh, Rumors is that Cortez is supposed to be coming back, might be out of the bullpen. If that's the case, I would also not really rely on Cortez, but also put in Stroman as a bullpen piece because you can't be using the same guys over and over and over again. That's what the Mets did, and look, the Dodgers got to them. That's what the Guardians did. The Yankees got to them. That's the Yankees' biggest point now is you got six starting pitchers. Two of them could come out of the bullpen and can relieve the other guys. So if it does come down to a Game 5 elimination, I'm just saying Cole could pitch Game 5. Rondon could pitch Game 6, or so forth and so forth. You got that well rested guys, and Cortez and Stroman could help out with that. My biggest pet peeve with the Yankees now is two guys, probably four, are really, really hitting. The main guys are Soto and Stanton. Soto and Stanton got you to the World Series. Everyone else is batting under 200, mostly. Torres, I know, is doing well. Same thing with Rizzo. But four guys is not enough when the Dodgers have everybody. Yes, I know Will Smith is struggling, and I know Chris Taylor is also struggling as well. But that's two guys out of nine. The Yankees are the opposite. You have four guys who are hitting out of nine. Kind of a big step right there. I know the Yankees got advantage with the starting pitching, but the Dodgers are not afraid of the starting pitching. They've shown that with the Padres. They weren't afraid of Dylan Cease. They got to Michael King, his second start of the postseason. They capitalize. They take the advantage. And 1 through 9, they are a fierce lineup. The Yankees aren't. And I don't think, not all of them, but I think some of these guys are not taken seriously. One big name that I have circled is Jazz Chisholm. And I've watched the interviews, I've heard the things that he says. This dude is probably one of the most cockiest players in the league right now. Sure, yeah, I have nothing wrong with, wearing the chains, having fun, doing this and that. But you don't have, you're not putting pen to paper. They won the championship series. They asked him how's it felt. His answer is, I said it once, I'll say it again. Yankees in five. Against the Dodgers? They asked you about Juan Soto. What was going through your mind when Juan Soto hit the home run? You better pay this man $700 million. This is the one thing I have with Jazz. You're saying Yankees in five against the Dodgers. There's no way you're going to be 3-1 against the Dodgers. Number one, different team. No offense to the Guardians, but they play a lot more better than a lot better than the Guardians. Number two, you're batting 141. Batting 141 in this postseason. Stanton and Soto have the right to say Yankees in five, Yankees in five. Jazz has no right. He doesn't. He has no right to say Yankees in five. When you're batting 141 in the playoffs, Verdugo is batting over under 200. I like Stanton, but I have more respect to him because this dude is a professional, and he's absolutely right. They asked him, first time this team since you've been here, the first time you guys got into the playoffs. How's it feel? It feels like nothing. Why? Because we haven't won it yet. Absolutely right. Same thing with Cashman. Cashman was on uh, Mad Dog, Chris Russo show, 3 hour day. And Chris asked the tough question. What what's the difference between this team and all the other teams? Cashman said nothing. When we won the three World Series back to back to back, we had the same mindset that we do now. We could win, but we also know that we could lose. That's the mindset that's going right now. But to have a cocky player like Jazz, and no, I'm repeating myself, but it's so true. To have a cocky player like him and be, guys, Yankees in five, Yankees in five. You watch this. We're going to win in five. But you can't back that up. You haven't backed that up. I understand he's excited. It's his first World Series. But the cockiness You got to prove something. You have to prove it. And I think that's where it's going to go downhill with the Yankees is that no one's hitting right now. If you can get these guys to hit, they have a legitimate shot. I know people are saying the bullpen and the starting rotation's going to help them out. If you can't hit, how can you score runs to win against a Dodger team that scores runs, hits, and hits? People are doubting the Dodgers rotation, and trust me, I was one of them. But Walker Buehler, his last start against the Mets looked fantastic. The one guy I'm worried about is Jack Flaherty. His last start, he only went 3 innings, gave up 8 hits on 8 home runs. That's my downfall. Otherwise, otherwise, I don't have a problem with the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers have put together this great team. They know they have something to prove because you have Shohei Ohtani. You have Yamamoto. You paid him $300 million for situations like this. And he's progressed really good. The bullpen has been great. The bullpen's not that bad. I think in a way too, they need to get Will Smith going. I like Will Smith. I think he's probably one of the better catchers in the game, but he needs to hit. But to have a lineup that consists of Shohei Ohtani, Betts, Teoscar Hernandez, Freeman, Kiki Hernandez, Max Muncy, those first six are going to are really going to give the Yankees pitching a hard time. Absolutely, I give them a hard time. These guys are. I think the guys are tired. They won it 4 years ago in 2020. I know the whole, it didn't count because it was a short season. It counted, but now I think they're here to try to prove the critics wrong. Oh, you think we won because we had because of a shortened season? All right, well, we'll show you. And I honestly think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to prove, and I think they did it. I think they got the better team than the Yankees. There's that back and forth matchup, the history on both teams, and for that, what I said with the Dodgers, the players, all that stuff, I say Dodgers in six. I think the Dodgers will win in six, unless Judge Jazz, Verdugo, hell, even Wells. If those guys could get going, then it might be Yankees in six. But until I'm proven wrong, Dodgers in six. So we'll see what happens there. The it's going to be a good series in my mind. I believe we will get a good playoff series. It's going to be fun to watch. You can't disrespect what happened with Cleveland and the Mets. I just don't think Cleveland had it. I don't know what went on, but they weren't hitting with runners in scoring position. That was the problem that they had. That was actually the biggest problem. Uh, the Probably one of the biggest problems that they had was just there was no hitting. The pitching was fine. You know, you can't blame the pitching, and that's what everyone did. I guess does. The starting pitching was fine. They limited the Yankees to not big numbers on the scoreboard. They I think what game one they did that, which was like what 8-2, 6-2, something like that. The problem I think with Cleveland was, like I said, the hitting and mostly the bullpen because Vogt kept using the same guy. I can't kill Stephen Vogt. I understand it's how playoffs work. They use the same guys every time. Everyone does. Trust me. Everyone does. How? But I think next year, if they could stay healthy, uh, I mean, Shane Bieber, I know missed the whole rest of the year. I know they want to re-sign him. They want to re-sign David Fry. I mean, why not? David Fry was phenomenal. Came up in the big moments, the clutch moments. They might have a shot next year. No one in the Central's getting better. The White Sox are not getting better. I think there could be a downfall. There's already rumors that they're going to sell the team. Minnesota's Minnesota. I don't think they're even going to spend money or get better. It, it's Cleveland's got to give a shot. They're not going anywhere. They are they're there. I mean, Detroit might give them a run for the money. Maybe we'll have to see what they do. I know they're definitely hungry after what happened, but you never know. I mean, I would like to see some veterans go in there, maybe some familiar faces. That's a different story. I mean, it can hurt. My thing is, I know I said this would be a different podcast, but I just want to say it anyway. Get guys in there to help these players out. You're gonna have to think Kerry Carpenter's gonna be healthy, so he'll be out in the outfield. Why not bring in JD Martinez? Look what he did for the Mets. Bring him in, give him that taste, help these players out. And then because I think his career is gonna wind down anyway, he'll be a fifth starter. Bring back Verlander. Help out with these guys, these pitchers. Maybe something, and maybe he'll actually be better. Maybe the pressure will be off on him. Hey, I'm not the number one starter. I'm the fifth or the third or wherever, because the ace of that club is Scooble. So why not? I think next year will be a two-team battle, Cleveland and Detroit. Why not? But you can't kill Cleveland for what they did. You gotta give them credit where credit is due. They did phenomenal. Same thing with the Mets. The Mets, I see a bright future. This team is gonna be great. They battled the Dodgers. They got that game to. They got that series into six. They worked their butt off, and man, did they do a good job. I think they're going to be very aggressive this year. I know they said they want to work on starting pitching. Hey, David Stearns, you drafted Corbin Burns. I'm just saying, you drafted Corbin Burns. They're going to go after Alonso. He said it. He goes, he's a Met for life. He's a great Met, and I really hope we can re-sign him. And if you do that, be aggressive with Soto as well. I think Juan Soto will also be very high on their radar. If they could sign both and get a little bit some good starting pitching, they'll make Philadelphia run for their money. Depends on what Philadelphia does, but we'll get to that in a separate podcast. But you can't kill them for what they did. Another thing I want to bring up, um, so just out of it, it makes the media look stupid, especially when it came from Cashman. But Cashman did an interview, and someone asked him, "How do you feel about the media saying that you guys got an easy path to the World Series?" And he says, "I've heard that, and I hated it. And the reason I hate it is because that's more disrespect to the other teams that have worked their butt off to get into this playoffs. Good for you." And he's not wrong. Kansas City was a tough team. They worked hard. They continue to work hard. They try to beat the Yankees, try going forward. They're going to go forward as well. They're going to do well. Um, and I really hope that this, I don't want them to be one of these teams where it's like, oh, we tried, well, we got eliminated, and now we're going to rebuild. No, I hate when teams do that. Continue what you're doing. You got a great club here, and keep it together because eventually they'll be back in the playoffs and they'll win. And I have to respect Cashman for that. Good for you. He could have said stuff, but he praised the teams that they fought, and that's very, very professional from Brian Cashman. Another thing I just want to add before we um, sign off: we've lost another legend in the baseball world, the second one this month. Like a couple days ago, the Los Angeles Dodgers family lost Fernando Valenzuela. Fernando Mania, as Ben Scully like to say. Finished a career of 173 wins and lost 153, an ERA of 3.54, and over 2,930 innings pitched with 2,074 strikeouts. Spent his long career, well, mostly of his long career with the Los Angeles Dodgers. He was 63 years old and he ended up passing away. So, Fernando Valenzuela sadly passed away at the age of 63. Well, that's going to do it for me. Let me know what you guys think. What's your predictions? And if you're not, follow me on YouTube. The name has changed. It's called The Baseline Pod with Jordan. Easier way to find me. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to me on YouTube. Let me know your comments. Did I miss anything? And I would love to hear from you guys. But other than that, I'm going to sign off. I will see you all in the next one.